5 people on the Friends page.
Maybe, hold on.
We're getting people. Look at that angle.
Yeah, I mean, I could see.
This is a good, so we've got 2 feeds going. If you guys are checking in with us over here on the Friends of Seventh Heaven band page, or you can also go to Richie Hofer's page.
But there's no way for me to turn.
Let me see that, because if you just...
I think when you're live, you can't do it, no?
No, if you hit this little reverse button,
Oh.
it reverses it.
Not bad, I can see now.
Yeah, now you can see. And so we might be back. Let's see, my shirt says New Retro Wave, but I can't, it looks backwards to me, you know. Yep, you did know it was Richie and I. You knew it, Michelle. And there was a couple people that were guessing, you know, it might be at Big Sammy's. It might be...
hot dogs?
Yeah, with hot dogs. You never know where we're going to show up. But this is the prime location. Richie's got his water. I've had a couple waters today, just so you know. I deserve my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I got you stocked somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, good.
Which has it. One of the fridges has your Dr. Pepper.
You guys can't see it, but there's 1, 2, maybe 3 outdoor fridges here.
Yeah, an ice maker.
And an ice maker.
A freezer.
We're loaded with beverages.
We are.
So we've got 9 people on this feed. We've got 25 over there already. So we've got a lot of people watching. You guys have just jumped in. This one's pumped up again. Thanks for being here. I always love these Facebook Lives with Seventh Heaven, especially when I get to be with one of my best friends in the whole world, with Richie. We get to hang out, talk with people, share what's going on. It's summertime. Obviously, you're so busy.
You know, when we were here last year, the backyard wasn't done. We were just sitting out. I said, this is going to be ripped up when we're here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And we delayed a couple other Facebook Lives because we're waiting.
Because we're waiting for this all. It's mostly done. Not everything, but
yeah, what we should do, too, on some of these, especially your camera, at some point, just do a little virtual tour.
Virtual tour?
Yeah, you can kind of wing it around and show people.
Show some people some cool... Do some...
You know what? People that are watching here,
the pool.
Sort of mimic what he's doing.
We sat there last year.
Yeah,
now we're sitting at the pool. The big video wall.
There's the pool. He's showing everybody the video wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, Richie, last year at this time, you didn't have that in.
No, there's a hot tub over there.
Yeah.
There's a fire pit over there. Heater.
We want to see him.
A lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going in the pool, I think, after we're done. I'm going to go in the pool.
So that's a big deal, the pool. As everybody's been watching on the Kickstarter and in the Facebook, they've seen that I've been asking the whole band all summer long if anything's been happening. And everybody seemed to be going to your pool, but I never got this invite that I was looking for.
Well, you've been in the pool a couple times with us. He's been in the pool a couple times.
The gig is up. The gig is up. I've definitely been in the pool.
Swimming.
But here's the thing. People do want to see that jump in the pool. So I thought, hey, let's get this video going. Let's see if we can get people interested in our box set.
Awesome.
And if you're interested in the box set, and if we reach our goal, I think they want a hand-in-hand jump in the pool.
A hand-in-hand? We can do a hand-in-hand jump.
So it's official. If we reach our goal, and we've got 2 days left, we need some people back in our project. The video will be made, Richie and I, hand-in-hand, jumping into the pool. So you will get to see that happen, people.
Pretty cool. That's a cool box set.
The box set is awesome.
Hard books.
Yep, all the books are hardcover. If you're paying attention to the Kickstarter all along, it all comes in it. There's 3 tiers. I've actually added a 4th tier, Richie, that if people, you know, because there's a $150 tier, $165 tier, and I think a $200 tier to get everything. But for people that just want a more simpler version, for $100, you get the box. It's signed by the band, and you can, at your leisure, collect the books on Amazon. So that way it's not as big as money up front.
Is it my flowing hair?
This is Nick's flowing hair.
I used to have flowing hair.
I know, there's going to be an episode where we see your flowing hair.
I used to have flowing hair.
That you opened up to one of my favorite illustrations of the entire series of Nick and Adam riding in the Spider... what's it called? The Miami Vice vehicle.
You know, I love him in the pink suit.
Yes, and in that episode, if you read it,
Adam's in the pink suit.
Yeah, Adam is in the pink suit, and he demands that he gets to keep that at the end of the episode. So it's super fun.
That's excellent.
And that book, episode 7 you're holding, is the one book that's in full color. So people that don't have episode 7, it is a full color book. So the reason why it's a little bit more expensive on Amazon and also ups the whole box set deal.
Does that mean like
yes,
shooting guitar picks out?
That is you shooting guitar picks with your super suit.
Shoot my guitar picks out.
Now, all summer long, Richie, we've had 8 books available of the Rock and Roll Kids at the merchandise table, and people have been asking me constantly for 9 and 10. It's in our newsletter.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right. 9
should be available in about a week and a half at the most.
Nice.
And one of the cool things I wanted to do for people that are part of tonight's Kickstarter and want to jump in on it, and also includes the people that have already been a part of it. If you do the $100 tier, if you do any of the tiers, you're going to get episode 9. It's the brand new one in paperback. But before it's released, you will be the first ones to get a signed copy of episode 9, along with your box set.
What about 8?
So 8, no, 8. Oh yeah, 8 will be out. I got tiers coming. So I think we're at about $1,500 at our total goal. It's only a small goal. It's just $5,000. So anybody that puts in $100, $200 will help us reach that goal, which we're trying to get. And if we reach that $2,000 goal, you're going to get episode 8. If we reach the 3,000, you're going to get also episode 9. We reach 4,000, you're getting all those, plus you're getting these amazing puzzles. We sold out of those at the merch booth already, so there's no more being produced right now. The only way to get them through this set. If we reach our $5,000 goal, you get all that.
And Roy goes to Disney World with you and rides the ride at Disney World.
And that's going to happen. But we got all these amazing, brand new,
nice
7th Heaven Rock and Roll Kid buttons. All the guys are featured on there. There's some characters that people have never even seen before. We've got Dino.
Is that Dino? Let me see Dino.
Dino is a double button. It's got.
Oh my God!
It's got both his characters.
Is that him, like with a little ponytail?
Yep.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
That's digital Dino, the digital wizard.
Get Dino.
That's how he exists in the virtual world.
Hilarious.
So that's Dino. That comes in the button set.
That's hilarious. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Some of our all-time favorite 7th Heaven alum, Tina and Christine.
Oh, nice.
They're on this button. They're part of what we call TNT. For those of you that pay attention to the Rock and Roll Kids and rock and roll in general, TNT is a very famous song by AC/DC.
So I was going to bring up a couple of things. So that a lot of people, I don't know if anybody, there's a couple of people that have not realized that you have a motif theme going with each book, that they're paying homage to a past rock and roll artist or a record or the art or something like this kind of. So, like for example, The Land of Confusion. Does anybody know what that is after?
It was a perfect opening for me, I thought, because of the band that did it, and just the term in general.
Is Genesis.
New beginning, yeah.
Genesis.
Something new, something different.
See how he thinks, this guy? I love it.
One thing for you guys to pay attention to, and Richie, you don't even know yet, but coming up on the 29th, I'm going to be interviewed. I'm going to spend at least an hour on Harper College Radio, and we're going to be discussing all things 7th Heaven and the Rock and Roll Kids. I get to put a playlist together, which is going to be awesome. So you're going to hear 7th Heaven songs on their radio station, and you're going to get to see the origins, like Richie just pointed out. We're going to play songs like Land of Confusion from Genesis. I'm going to play songs like Operation Mindcrime.
Yeah, Who Are You?
From The Who.
From The Who.
So I really look forward to that. We're going to start advertising about it soon.
What You Give. New Radical.
Tesla. But this one was for Tesla, but New Radical, yes.
Tesla?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't have that record, I don't think. What's the big song on that?
The big song on that one might be, did Signs come on that? No, that was only on the acoustic live. What You Give is on there, of course. That's the big song, and Love Song made it.
Their first 2 records are masterpieces.
I know, they are.
Used to jam them in speed in my car. A little Mitsubishi Star in it. You're doing 80 miles an hour. Burning Down a Dream, Tom Petty. Nice. Last in Line, Dio. I love how Joey DeMarco character is right there. Joey DeMarco with he's the nemesis.
Yes, he is our main arch nemesis in the series. And what about people that don't know who Joey DeMarco is? He's a longtime friend of yours.
Booking agent.
And a booking agent in Chicagoland area, mainly, and does a lot of stuff.
He handles most of the clubs.
Most of the clubs, yeah. So he's got a great history with Seventh Heaven.
Operation Mindcrime. That's a masterpiece record by Queensryche. Mm-hmm. If you don't own Queensryche Operation Mindcrime, you need to go buy it.
Sure.
Because that's like just amazing.
Now, show them the back of that book too, because episode 6, Operation Mindcrime, on the back of the book is the first time that I show these new characters that are called virtual villains. And the first virtual villains were a group of screaming meanies right there that I call the cyberpunks, who come from an album by Billy Idol. So Billy Idol, there's a ton of Billy Idol references in that book as well. And that was super fun to put that in there. Again, all those references, if you read the Rock and Roll Kids, and I've had people come up to me at the merchandise booth that just love that. They love that aspect. They find all these Easter eggs that I put in there.
You have a lot of them.
Tons.
Isn't my son's on this cover?
Yeah, they're on the cover right there on the top left. Michael and Matthew. All the band's kids are on there. Yep. Chloe up there and Ryan are up there. Nick's kids and Jet's up there. I love making that episode. That was so fun to put all the boys and the girls in that episode.
That's cool.
I got to pay homage to them while they're young, most of them, and they've loved it. Jimmy and Joey have loved it. Jet, your boys.
Caught in the Game, Survivor. That's a great guitar riff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in C minor. I think that song's in C minor if I remember correctly. That's a great guitar riff.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things I've ever done in life is ride around in Richie's car late at night with different songs. A lot of Seventh Heaven songs.
Songs that we're writing.
Yeah, songs.
So Roy's one of the very few people that actually hear the music and the songs before they're really written, and then I give Roy, here Roy, here's 50 songs, here's 100 songs, and I give him 100 tunes, and he's got to go see if he's got a little melody idea for it or whatever.
I love that part. It's also, I love that part about it too, Richie, is that when it comes to Seventh Heaven and the Rock and Roll Kids, is we have lots of music prepared for it, as you know.
Yeah.
And so for me to be able to kind of lay down a little bit of a lyrical bed or an idea for that song and then present it to you and Adam, to take it to the next step and write it, I'm looking forward to that. So are a lot of people. They want to hear the Seventh Heaven.
Should one day let people see the whole process from front to back.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that soon. I don't know if you put it in a link on your page, but if you go to the Friends of Seventh Heaven page, there's a link. Again, if you want to be in on the box set, we've got 2 days left. You can donate anything you want to it. Obviously, the tiers get you the different things in it, like the signed box set by the band, books by myself. Did you see this printout? We haven't made these yet because we have to make our goal. But this will be in the box set as well. It's this really cool 8-page spread of characters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it kind of folds into its own little deal.
Got Lenny.
I've got Lenny up there with
Lenny
you.
with the drone. He's got pizzas.
He does have pizzas in the books, but in that picture he does not. That's just a quick card. This is the prototype that Richie's holding in his hand, so that's why we haven't made those yet. We need to make our goal for me to get those.
I think Dino's hilarious with the ponytail going on in the back. See the Dino with the ponytail? It's hilarious.
Dino is super fun always when I bring Rock and Roll Kid stuff to him. He loves talking about it. He loves all the history of Seventh Heaven, and he brings so much added element to this project and to the band, which is awesome. So, you guys, everybody all summer long has been getting the Seventh Heaven newsletter. I don't know how many of you have actually played along in our word search that we have in here. It's a little bit towards the back, but we've got some fun puzzles in here, both a crossword and a word search. And I thought it might be kind of fun if we asked a couple of these questions and see if anybody has the answers.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And, I thought if we get some people that get some multiple ones right, if they're really playing along, maybe we give away a prize. Maybe that way you get a first copy of episode 9.
Oh,
I'd be happy to do that. Get them printed, you'll be the first ones to get it. So, we're going to have to watch 2 screens. Samantha, Michelle, I see some Brian is on over here. So everybody paying attention. I'm going to ask a question here. It's in the newsletter. If you have your newsletter, you can open up to it. It's just, again, it looks like this. Got the crossword puzzle. And we might get a lot of people that answer this. So what we'll do is, for maybe the correct answers, when I come back probably tomorrow, maybe we could do like a little drawing. We'll see how it goes, right? We'll see how many people get it. So if you have your newsletter or not, I'm going to go with, over on this side, it looks like it's 1 down, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters. 1 down. The question is, title of Seventh Heaven and the Rock and Roll Kids #2. So we actually showed you guys that a little while ago. So if you have episode 2 of Seventh Heaven and the Rock and Roll Kids, if you don't, you can find it online. Ask a friend. It's 9 letters.
Is this like that show on TV where you phone a friend?
You could
call
phone
somebody.
a friend.
You should just call somebody. Ask Adam.
Yeah.
Call Adam.
Yeah. And I just told the Bliss the other day, like that won't even work these days, because now, in those days, you could call a friend and they just have to guess. Now they'd call a friend, they'd look the answer up on Google and you'd get it.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even use the call a friend.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
But when it was, who wants to be a millionaire?
Is that the show?
You could do it. All right.
Who wants to be a rock and roll kid?
Michelle is already in. She's got an answer for us. Is it correct? I'm not sure. I'm not going to say it's correct or not yet. But we'll let a few more people chime in on it, and we'll go from there. So I think the best thing to do is, as I look through these comments later, I'll just find the answers to who put stuff. And if you had an answer correct, you'll be in the drawing.
Yeah, perfect.
So we'll do that.
Fair enough.
So let's move on to another question here. This one's a tough one. We'll go with 2 down. And 2 down is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. Now you're going to have to know some history here. The question is King Biscuit's Hour. So you might have to do a little searching for what that might mean. But I'll give you guys a hint for those of us. Just think live music, think radio. Those are a couple of hints. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. King Biscuit's Hour. Do you know what I'm referring to? Correct. I remember how awesome. I would turn on the radio sometimes when I'm driving home from work or wherever I was driving, and that program would come on. And it would be some live concert somewhere, and I'm like, this is awesome. I got to find more of these blank hours to listen to. Those are really cool programs.
You know, when on Saturday nights, Saturday was all music in my life, you know?
Yeah.
Cartoons in the morning, and then American Dance Stand, and then Soul Train.
Okay.
Then later in the night, they'd have Saturday Night Live, and have a music desk on Saturday Night Live. And then you'd have Don Kirshner's rock concert, Midnight Special. I think it was Midnight Special was next, then Don Kirshner's rock concert, where they just had. That's where I first saw Def Leppard.
Yeah.
On Don Kirshner's rock concert.
Yeah.
It was like clips of them, music videos and stuff. And then
so
on Friday night, I had Friday night videos, Night Flight. A few of them that they would have. I mean, then when MTV came out, I'll never forget. This is a true story. Not only was Def Leppard turned on to me when I saw Don Kirshner's rock concert. It was Saturday Night, Let It Go, and Bring On Heartbreak. Okay. Those 3 videos. And I was like, man, this band's amazing. This sounds awesome. Then I get MTV at the house in 1982. And the guy at the cable guy's, okay, you're good to go, have a good day. And the cable now was working out. Oh my God, we have cable now. And then he leaves, I turn on MTV, Photographed by Def Leppard comes on, and I just sat there and I go, that's what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I'm going to be a guitar player.
It's such a great story. It's one reason why I love writing these books, Seventh Heaven and Rock and Roll Kids, because that experience you have with music and rock and roll, it's a different experience that kids have these days. And they have their own experiences, and that's great.
Sure.
But to understand where it came from, what we experienced, I want to share that. So when you have a story like you just told, and I've got in episode 1 you wearing the Union Jack T-shirt that Joe Elliott of Def Leppard wears.
I wore that in junior high.
And I want kids that read these books to understand where that came from, so they can have that same story. Wow, Def Leppard, MTV. I didn't even know this existed. At least in that way.
And that real Union Jack shirt had said Def Leppard in red. On the Union Jack. You ever see it? It says
I think
Def Leppard on
yellow with red.
I think it was red.
It could be.
It could be yellow.
I just drew with.
But I remember having the logo on the shirt, and I remember being at school and then somebody wore one and didn't have a thing. I'm like, it's a knockoff.
Yeah,
That's not the real thing. You know, and I don't even know where I got one. It wasn't at a concert. I think maybe somewhere at Woodfield, maybe. What's that store? Not Hot Topic. Before Hot Topic, there was a store.
There was a couple.
Remember
stores.
a store in Woodfield? They used to have all that. The Alley? No, not the Alley.
I mean, I used to.
Well, it's a store.
When I was in
like
high school, I shopped at places like Merry-Go-Round and I was just dancer. I was dancing. I was at clubs with my
Cavaricis.
I was buying records.
You had your Cavaricis, and then you ever have parachute pants?
I did.
I did too. I still have my pair.
That's awesome.
They're super tiny.
I don't have any.
I still have them. I can't fit in them, but I was tiny.
We reached 2 tiers.
I won't eat for 10 years, and I'll get back in my little parachute pants. Probably would maybe I could get close to getting in them.
Yeah.
They were I think at size 30 waist. I'm at 32, so.
I always watch when you guys are on stage. You're pretty consistent a lot with your stage wear. Mark has a lot of different stuff. Mark's got red pants. He's got pocketed pants. He's got these ripped jeans. He's got all these different stuff. When I first came up with the Rock and Roll Kids, I had different war outfits for you guys.
Right.
It got too confusing, so I had to come up with with just the symbol on the T-shirt. And Dino helped me come along with that. Dino's instrumental in a lot of ideas, especially in the beginning.
What where you could change the not something forms where you could change the outfit on somebody. You just remember you used to be able to just pick it on a picture. Mm-hmm. You could. I don't remember what it was. There was a time where you used to be able to put a plastic cover and change it.
Yeah, don't change it. I know what you're talking about. I can picture
Mark could just have
Yeah.
Mark's today green.
Yeah.
He's green today.
I love items like that. Today, before I came to your house, I found this item on Temu or some shopping app, and it was cool because you've given me something like this before. It's like a 3-tier level. 3 levels where you can put little statues on it and stuff. And I've talked to you about this before. I want to make Rock and Roll Kid action figures.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna do that. And I want to do it maybe even next summer if we can.
Yeah, let's do it.
But we got to be successful with things like they're expensive to make stuff like this box that costs a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like those figures, it costs a lot of money. We got to store it then. But I'm always like you. We're preparing to have when we get those figures, I want to have something for people to put them on. Like when I made these books in hardcover, I'm like, they got something to go with. And so having those little extra things.
You got to get the TV show going, and then
and
those things have extreme value.
Oh
because they're unique,
Oh, without a doubt.
If we do action figures, do I come with extra guitar picks?
I wanted to. I wanted to. For those who pay attention to the series, there's the obvious, the band members with their music, with their instruments. But there's also the band in what I call the super suits, where they're fighting these virtual villain bad guys, and that's where they become really action hero-like, and their instruments turn into super weapons, and they do cool stuff. So I want to have action figures of both.
That'd be awesome.
And then the villains. I mean, there's so many fun ideas. I can't wait to get to when we get there. But we're doing good because people are interested. They're always building up, and doing something like this with the Kickstarter, it's helpful. All right, Chris and Danny are in. Chris and Danny and I are part of a fantasy football thing with Mark. It starts in a week.
They got to go on the cruise.
I know, it's been a while, guys. You got to get on the cruise with us.
Cruise!
Oh, let's do another puzzle while we're sitting here thinking about it. Okay, I haven't checked, but we'll look later for answers. So we did 2. Let's do 4 down. 4 down is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters. 9 letters and 4 down. I think this is an easy one, but some people might struggle with it. You got to know your music. All right? 9, 5, what was it? I lost my position. Where did it go? All right, 4 down, 9 letters. Question is, this band saw the sign, and that's all that she wants. I was not a big fan of this band.
Really?
No. But the guy that was one of the main songwriters for them, I'm a fan of. And that's Max Martin.
Oh, Max Martin wrote a lot of their stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He wrote a lot of their stuff.
They covered Cruel Summer. And they have a real cool version of Cruel Summer.
I think I might have heard it. I could see if it was by him, obviously, it would probably play a lot of people. But I was always surprised I didn't like it as much because of that connection to that,
Right.
to that guy as a writer. And speaking of new music and writers, and I'm going to date myself and probably sound a little funny too, but the new Michael Bolton album
Yeah.
is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, he's got some guy that's co-written a couple songs that are just they're so seventh heaven. I'm like, man, they're Michael Bolton like in a ballad way, but they definitely have this cool pop rock seventh heaven feel to it. And I'm just digging it. And the new Rick Springfield's crazy awesome.
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah.
I know that he came out of the record.
Yeah, you gotta dive into it a little bit. That one is totally like you. The layers and that he put, and he did it all by himself. The entire album, he wrote it, played everything, produced it, everything. There's so many layers of music, guitars, synthesizers, drums.
He's a great
background vocal. You're gonna sit there like a little kid, being, oh, where did he get that sound? Where did he get that? How did he do? Oh, you're gonna dissect it and be like, oh, I know what he did here.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. I actually sent you a song maybe a few days ago. You don't always get them right away when I send them to your phone, and then you get so many calls they float away. But
I don't, I'm generally not a person on myself.
I know, that's
like,
and by the time you see it, you probably
I'll see it like this is funny that it's out right now, but typically I won't have that phone out till on Thursday when I'm driving to the show and I'm like, oh, all these people have been trying to reach me.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I know.
I call my house line.
I know.
The studio line.
Studio line. That's where I usually get you easier. But it's fun when I send a link. I just want to give it to you. But check out that. If you people out there pay any attention, even if you go to Seventh Heaven shows, Rick Springfield has played once, if not twice, in your while we're waiting, while you're setting up. You've played Venus in Overdrive, I think, maybe, or no. Our ship's sinking, I'm rowing in a sway.
That's a great song.
Yeah, you play that.
You played What's Victoria's Secret. It's on cover. It's on the cover.
Yeah, that's on cover. But if you go to the show while the crew's setting up, that song will
ships
play.
Are sinking, yeah.
And also
it's a great song.
Bop Till You Drop It.
No, Rock of Life.
Rock of Life. Yeah, but
that's a great song.
I love that song. It's got a reggae beat to it. Yeah.
The tempo is a great song.
Today I sent a text to Nick. I was in the rehab center with my daughter, and we were just going over some different music. And her boyfriend brought up the band Pentatonics. Pentatonics, yeah. And they did an a cappella version of Sound of Silence from Simon and Garfunkel.
Really?
And it was pretty good, but I could not help. Obviously, the original Simon and Garfunkel, it is amazing.
Yeah.
It's done the way it's done. But the version by Disturbed
is very good.
To me, one of the all-time greatest just vocal performances.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Disturbed fan, but I will walk to the ends of the earth defending that version. It's just such an amazing performance.
I have a song called The Vengeful One, and I saw Dan, the guitar player at Disturbed, he's at our show, and I'm like, dude, that guitar riff is just killer. Yeah. It's just like a total driving heavy.
I bet. Bliss will know because she's a fan of Disturbed.
The Vengeful One.
The Vengeful One. You know, now that you say it, I think somebody else told me to at one of your shows, a radio guy. We were just talking about music, and he mentioned that.
Do you want to know?
He worked for 95 Will Rock.
I'll tell you something most people don't know. So when Disturbed was recording their first record, I was in the studio with them when Johnny K's studio, and I was going to start doing some of their sequence stuff, and Johnny K was having a problem getting. I don't think he had a Euphonics board. He's having a problem with the mixer console talking to the Mac through with Pro Tools and getting it all to work. I had worked on a couple backing tracks for them, and then I went in the studio, and he could not get it working the day I was there. And I think I went there like 2 or 3 times, and then I was like, I'm not going to keep going back. He doesn't have it figured out, and we just never did it. But I have their stems, their raw tracks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pro Tools, and I was adding backing tracks. So
that's before.
There was like 3 or 4 guys in Chicago that were nerdy about sequencing. There's like Matt Mercado of Mind Bomb, myself, and this I think not Johnny K. This is another. I forgot the other guy. Maybe Bobby D from B96. One of these B96 guys. And we were really good with an Insonic ASR10 sampler. It was like you would it'd be like you're like sample yourself, hello, and you go down and be like hello, and then, and you can make samples and be able to track samples and make things happen on a sequence with samples. And I was one of these nerdy guys that got into the Sonic ASR10.
That totally makes sense. That's what I say about the Rick Springfield.
In fact, when I worked at Guitar Center, I sold more of them than anybody else in America. Wow. I used to sell them all the time. And I'll even tell you one even crazier story. Dennis Chambers, the jazz drummer, came in the Guitar Center while I was working there. And I knew he was doing a clinician, but I knew the name, but I didn't know the face, I didn't know. And I'm sitting there with this guy, and he's asking me about sequencing, and I'm sequencing all his loops and beats on the ASR10. And he's like, man, that's really kick-ass. He's like, sorry. He goes, all right, well, I'll see you a little later tonight. I'm like, well, we're going to see you later tonight. He goes, well, I'm Dennis Chambers doing. I go, oh, you're Dennis Chambers. And then I go watch this guy, and I watch this guy play beats. And I'm not a drummer, but he would play a beat and then come out and leave the beat and then come back to the one better than any drummer I've ever seen. I'm like, dude. So I had tears in my eyes watching this guy play drums. I couldn't believe how solid of a player he was. But he had a swing. Like there's like 3 R&B drummers that do that, or programmer producers. Teddy Riley, who did Michael Jackson. Dallas Austin does TLC, and Jimmy Jam Jerry Lewis that do Janet Jackson. So when we program 7th Heaven, I'm programming 7th Heaven stuff. If it's something that has a loop, I'm really attracted to these syncopated loops that kind of leave the beat for a second and they come back. Most people don't even care, you know.
No, but it makes 7th Heaven such a powerhouse because you are doing that stuff, and you've got this amazing drummer in Frankie, and then Adam as a drummer himself.
Yeah, right.
You got a 3-part person.
Yeah, right. Adam understands it well. So does Frankie. But like when we program that, it's like most people don't realize that little bit of R&B flavor is what is thrown into some of the beats. Some of the beats. Not all of our songs. But some of them, when there's a drum loop in a beat, you know, and then when you're playing to it, it gives an interesting feel.
I completely agree with you. Sometimes I talk about music and I bring up a quote that Gene Simmons said a few years back, and he said that rock is dead. And to his defense, I get what he's saying because he's thinking the electric guitar, as far as rock. But rock and roll, and especially why even in the Rock and Roll Kids, I bring up so many different artists. It doesn't have to be a rock band. It could be an R&B band. It could be a pop band. It could be, because those the roots that make rock and roll what it is have all those elements in it. Have that R&B stuff. Have the jazz components. They have those blues parts to it. They have classical music. All those elements is what make rock and roll what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I can totally understand what you're saying when you say those beats that you created can be found then also in 7th Heaven songs.
Yeah, we used to have a song called The Way It Used to Be, and that is a perfect example. And really, that song was written off of a Boyz II Men song called Thank You, where that had this like hip-hop beat, this like New Jack Swing kind of beat. And I was like, and Tony, our singer, Tony DiGiulio, had showed me that song, and he goes, I'd love to have a song like this. I go, let's write it right now. So we sat down, we started writing, and then I found this, then I put this little funky guitar riff that kind of comes from Prince. Yeah. And then when the people hear it in 7th Heaven, they just think it's a rock song. Yeah. Really, that came from Boyz II Men and Prince. You would never guess. And I remember writing The Prayer when I first heard Rage Against the Machine. Blown away. Another good band that has this kind of, where they have a funkness to them.
Tom Morello brings a lot of that.
And it's funny because I like all these different aspects. I like the big poppy bubblegummy song. I like the rock, of like something heavy rock. Yep. I like the R&B aspect. I like a nice soft ballad if it's, but you have to be in the mood for the ballad. I like high tempo. I like slow tempo, mid tempo. I love.
It speaks to the dynamic of the band, though. Again, even from the standpoint of a medley. The amount of songs you put in there with the different, the different beats.
Medleys are a lot of work.
Timing. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's cool that you can put all those different songs and span different genres and even eras.
Yeah. You try to touch, the 70s and 80s, the Euro pop, the Depeche Mode kind of vibe, In Excess, Duran Duran.
Yep. So everybody knows that you guys have been playing this summer. Awesome. 2 new medleys.
Yeah.
Which is a Pop Medley 5, which was waiting for a couple summers. Everybody was anticipating
Well,
that. It's been out.
We're still not done though.
I know, but you're doing a great job.
We're playing it because, like, so when you first put Medley 1 together, Pop Medley 1, it's very easy to go, Living on a Prayer, you know, Pour Some Sugar on
Right.
Me. You know, you're like,
Pick these 10 great
Summer
songs.
69, or is it like, it's
Right.
not hard to find Hotel California, like, iconic songs. Well, as you've exhausted all those songs, you gotta realize, if they're, like, give or take, let's say we just, like, because Medley 4 is 40 songs, so 30, 40, 70, 100, 130, 130 songs were played between all the first 4 medleys.
Yeah, you're getting deeper.
So
deeper.
now, we've already played...
You got Living on a Prayer, bad name. Wanted Dead or Alive. You already put it. It's
Right,
you put them in stuff.
Right.
Now
So
what you're down to? Wild in the Streets.
Well, I put Wild in, and it's funny because that song is. It's funny because it's not going over as well as I wanted it to.
Except for Beat Me.
Yeah, but right. I mean, it's funny because people are like, I'm a huge Bon Jovi fan. I'm like, oh, so the biggest record that they ever made and released and sold more copies, you don't know a song on it,
Yeah.
but you're the biggest Bon Jovi fan. I was like, shame on all of you.
Yeah.
You know, you're not a Bon Jovi fan. You're a loose Bon Jovi fan. I mean, hard fans know deep cuts and B-sides.
Yeah.
You know, today's fan just knows the hit, and they
know the single.
So today's fan knows. I know verse 2.
Yeah,
That's what today's fans are. So
and again, another reason why I love exploring stuff like that in the Rock and Roll Kids, because I want you to know more than just the one song. I want you to know.
Right.
Here, we're talking about Land of Confusion. There's 30 different Genesis references in this book. I want you to explore that. I want you to know what these songs all stand for.
Right.
You know? And I want you to know those stuff. Why did you include that lyric? Well, because it came from Paul Carrack. Who's Paul Carrack? He came from the band Aces. Aces did this song. I can't think of it right now. But whatever. It's all connected. It's all relative.
Right. Hold on. I'm gonna turn on. I'm just going to turn on the light.
Richie's turning on lights. If you guys are paying attention, again, we're here to talk all things Seventh Heaven. Seventh Heaven, the Rock and Roll Kids. I'm promoting for 2 more days the full 1 through 7 Seventh Heaven and the Rock and Roll Kids box set. You get it signed by the band. Every book is signed by myself, the author and creator. There's tons of fun goodies in there, like guitar picks that you can get only exclusively through the box set. We've got the 6-page pullout of Rock and Roll Kid characters. What else do we have in there? Tonight we're doing, if we reach certain tiers, we got extras also going in there, from the puzzles to a collection of Seventh Heaven and the Rock and Roll Kid buttons. We've got episode 8 that's going to be thrown into the package. Episode 9 that isn't even released yet is going to go in there. So if you guys hit the link that I provided up here on the Friends of Seventh Heaven page, and all through the last month and a half, you can go be a part of our box set. You can donate anything. The different tiers will get you the different products and stuff, and we're trying to hit that goal. So if you can go help us out, that'd be awesome.
And Royal ride Space Mountain with you at Disney.
Exactly. And
holding
remember,
hands.
No, and remember, you and I will be holding hands jumping in that pool. If we make our goal. Make that happen, people. I want to hold his hand. And speaking of
I want to hold you.
There you go. He knows reference. And there's a Hold My Hand from Hootie and the Blowfish. I won't give it away too much, but Hootie makes a great appearance in episode 9. Super funny, too.
Really?
Sometimes, and I'm not trying to, whatever, I mean, my books sometimes are corny, but sometimes I actually do laugh out loud at some of the stuff I write. It's kind of, it's so blessed reading it the first time she edits.
One of the books you have to put a subtle reference into the band Tokyo Hotel.
Oh, it's coming.
Because we always have that, that's our intro to let us know. We have a song that we use live, so like instead of, like years ago, I used to always hate when they'd be like, band to the stage, band to the stage. I'm like, I hate that. Like, you just feel like you're like cattle being called to the stage, you know, the stampede. Come on. So I never liked that, so I thought Dino had turned me on to this band, Tokyo Hotel, with their song Ready, Set, Go, which was amazing. Then I got to be a huge fan of this band. I like a groupie of this band. And they're out of Germany. And so I said, well, if we play this one song, Dark Side of the Sun, which we cover on Covered, nobody would know that we have to go, you know, to the stage. It would just be like our song that would say, you're going to the stage, get this a signal like, go to the stage after this song is over. We're going to go 1 minute long intro and we start our show. It's an easy way to like let everybody know what's happening, like without saying it, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I got to be a huge fan of this band. So you have to put that Tokyo Hotel reference in there. They're a German band. They're like huge in Germany and like Italy, and they came to America. They still do okay, but in Europe they'll fill a stadium.
Oh yeah,
or not a stadium, but arena.
I love how some bands create a fan base outside of the United States. You would never know they're that big. Like a band like Big. Mr. Big is a band like that. When they go to Asia, they're like huge. They're like the Beatles over there. They just did their final tour, and I've been reading all the reviews. They just finished out out in the East. And sold out everywhere. Japan, Malaysia.
See, the Asians appreciate music.
Everywhere. They're in like huge sellout crowds. Gigantic.
Do you know I went to dinner with the entire band Toto. Like all the I've gone out to it a couple times. And so we literally are at Gene and Giorgetti's eating dinner. Every member of Toto and myself, my friend Joe Vanna, and we're eating and I think Rick Barnes was there too. And so we're eating. And the only person in the room that recognized who Toto was an Asian guy.
Isn't that crazy?
He's like, "You're Toto."
Yeah.
You know, I was just laughing. I was like, "That's funny." Like nobody knew who we were. Same way when I was. Did I ever tell you that when I met Alex John Such from Bon Jovi, we go out to eat. I have to pick him up at the airport. I'm like, how am I going to find this guy? He comes coming down the elevator, and he's wearing a Bon Jovi jacket that only Bon Jovi would have. Like somebody in the band, it's all gold rhinestones on it, like gold.
Yeah.
And not done it like one of those.
That's some cheap sequins.
That cheap sequins. Yeah. It's the real legitimate deal. And so I'm laughing. I'm like, wow. Well, clearly that's him. So I get to hang out with him all day. I bring him over to my house. We hang out all day and everything with him. And we got to eat at Home Run and Pizza. Okay. And on Algonquin Road when it was there, tonight. And we're sitting down, and these girls walk in like, oh my God, it's Richie from 7-Eleven. Richie from 7-Eleven. Alex John Such from Bon Jovi. I was like laughing. That's when he goes, so you're in a band? I go, yeah, I'm in a band. We play a lot. He goes, I want to hear your stuff. And then when he came to see us at Jackhammers or Toto's, whatever it's called at the time. And he's standing there. JY from Styx is standing there. It's right before they started managing 7th Heaven. And I'm literally laughing because, while I'm sitting there, after we get done, and now Warren, I think it's Vixen and then Warren or something. There's all these bands were all playing on this thing. And we get done, the place is packed, and this guy's standing right next to Alec wearing a Bon Jovi shirt, looking with him on his shirt. And the guy, I'm like, I looked at him, I don't think the guy next to you knows that you're on his shirt, and you're standing right next to him. He never even knew this guy. Same thing happened when I was with my cousin Nick and the singer Fall Out Boy. We're at Ben and Jerry's, and we're at Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream in Schaumburg. Right now, where that metal burger place is with that hummus plumber. Yeah. So there used to be Ben and Jerry's right there. We go in there, and we're laughing because the guy scooping the ice cream is wearing a Fall Out Boy shirt with Patrick on there, and I'm looking, and I go, I don't think this guy realizes that he's serving Patrick right now his ice cream while he's wearing his Fall Out Boy shirt. And I'm looking, we're laughing. I'm like, I don't think he realizes that that's even happening,
That's like the fan that says, I'm Big Bon Jovi's favorite fan. They don't know nothing.
Yeah, they don't know Wild in the Streets.
Yeah.
You're grounded.
Yeah, you're out.
You're grounded. You're out of there. How do you not know Bon Jovi, Wild in the Streets?
Let me look at some of these comments here, because I saw Stephanie Wright said that Space Mountain doesn't exist anymore. So
yes, it does.
Well, she said it doesn't.
What?
She's a huge Disney person, so I question
Space Mountain is there.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, where is she saying that?
It was up in the comments.
No,
Stephanie,
she's wrong.
if you're still
Stephanie,
post it again.
I was just there.
I think you said Space
You want to
Mountain.
know why Space Mountain was there? Because I just went there with my sons, and I rode that ride all growing up. Like, this is great. I was trying to get up. I'm like, I'm a little queasy. So I got up and I go up to the lady at the counter. I go, you have anything like the upset stomachs? It's the first time I've ever had that.
Really?
I'm getting old. I'm 53.
I know. It's crazy how it hits you fast.
I'm old. I'm an old man.
All right, let's see. Michelle, I think Space Mountain. Beth said I think Space Mountain is still around. I saw Beth yesterday.
Space Mountain is still.
Beth, I saw you yesterday, and I get to talk to you tonight. Very cool.
And she's gonna tell me when the Oreo cookie's gonna
be
at Crumble.
I was there yesterday. I saw her.
She brought me a crumble cookie. Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
I bet.
No, really.
Bliss brought two.
Those cookies are so big; they're like 5 meals to me.
If anybody out there wants crumble cookie, there's a lot of locations, but the only best one to go to is the one in Algonquin. Go see Beth. They're the best cookies. She's an amazing baker to begin with. So you got an amazing baker working at a basically a big cookie place.
Yeah, she walks in. She's like, I'm in.
Done. Yeah, that's like you working at Carson. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I remember working at Guitar Center. You know, they sent me to Zig Ziglar's training with Peter Lowe and Coleman Powell and Mike Ditka, and they were going to train me to be a manager. They wanted me to be a manager. I'm like, well, and here's me the whole time with my little notepad, and the guy next to me, Danny Thompson, he plays in one of those big bands that play like Riot Fest. So anyways, we're sitting there, and I'm sitting with my notepad, and they're thinking I'm taking notes to become the store manager at Guitar Center. Yeah. I'm taking notes going, how can I apply all of these theories to Seventh Heaven? Yeah. How these managerial ways I'm learning. Right. I mean, the little bit, everyone's like in their little three-piece suits.
That's when you know.
A three-piece suit.
That's when you know you're destined to do what you want to do.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's see. Yes, comes sent. My mom is on. Hi, Mom. She told me she's going to chime in. She loves watching us on here. So, you guys, let's go back to these questions one more time because we lost track here and there. I'm going to go with number 22 across. And number 22 across over here has... Oh, no, it's down. 22 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 letters. And the question is, we were all born to be blank. If you know your seventh heaven, you will get that one. We were all born to be blank. Any hint? Last year there was a big t-shirt on it. It's on an album. I don't want to give too much away. You know that I actually storyboarded a music video for that song?
They're just flying through the answers.
Yeah, they got the answers.
Yours giving the answers, mine are just watching.
I know. All right,
answers, people are like,
or Stephanie and whoever was above her that said Legends, that is the answer to that one. And Richie, I storyboarded a whole music video for Legends. If we ever get to it, it'll be super fun to do. It's totally professionally cool. Involves a lot of Latin dancing and in a hot summer bar and band on stage.
Is a Mexican version, a Latin version of us? A Latin version of?
Very sultry.
Have to wear a sombrero.
Very sultry version of Seventh Heaven.
A poncho and a sombrero.
You guys are going to love it.
A little mustache.
You girls are going to love it. Let's do it. We got to do it.
I'm in.
How many times I've storyboarded a video and then we just run out of time?
We did Monster.
We did Monster.
It turned out good.
It was awesome.
We do more.
Every time you guys play that song live and I see that video, I'm just like, I get the urge to, oh man, we got to go do another song.
Yeah, let's
I mean, the other videos you make are amazing. The live stuff. But sometimes those creative ones are a little different. Like, we've done enough of them.
I would agree. I agree.
Yeah, because they're just so cool.
We'll do another video.
All right, that's going to be done. Another video. Hey, speaking of things to be done, just to tail back for a second on the box set, you guys, if you join in on that and we reach our goals, I had some ideas for some of these goals. Again, we started the day, I think, at $1,500. We needed to get to the $5,000 to get the whole thing completed. But I had some ideas when we reached some of these goals of things I want to do with the band. So I wanted to share that with everybody out there. You tell me if these are feasible things, Richie.
Oh, let's go.
All right, so, well, we know the 5,000 goal. I already said. You and I are going to jump hand in hand in that pool. All right, I don't care if it's a polar plunge.
I got a manicure going.
If it's a polar plunge close to your favorite holiday, Christmas, we're doing it. We're going to do it. If we make $5,000 and everybody
before Thanksgiving.
All right, well that's before Thanksgiving. You got 2 days to get in on this, people. So that's our $5,000 goal. But if we get the $2,000 goal, I'm going to go sit down with Frankie, somewhere with Frankie, maybe his house, I don't know where, but I'm calling it Frankie Goes to Hollywood. All right, and Frankie and I are going to pick movies, and we're going to talk movies and Seventh Heaven all night, and you guys can jump in on it. And I know some of the fans out here. Like I saw Stephanie earlier, big movie fan. We'll touch those cool Marvel movies, but I think Frankie Goes to Hollywood will be a fun thing. So if you guys want me to do that,
Stephanie needs to go to Disney and ride Space Mountain.
I know she needs to get there. Michelle, take her. Like she said, Jenny, just realized I got them mixed up. So okay, so maybe we have an answer here. There it is. Frankie Goes. Stacy, thank you. Make that happen, Stacy. Get in on the box set. Hit the link. Be a part of it. And so you guys know, if we get that goals and we are able to produce the rest of these box sets, the delivery date is sometime after September. So if you're thinking of giving them away as a Christmas gift, as a Hanukkah gift, as something for the holidays, you'll have them and you'll have all the fun extras. And the extras I think are cool, Richie, because you can throw them in the stocking. You can make little presents. You can give them away as maybe gifts you go to a Christmas holiday party or something. So think about that. You get everything before the holidays.
So everything we manufacture for the holidays.
Yes.
Can you teach Tim Cook of Apple how to do that?
I wish I could.
For some reason, Tim Cook just doesn't know how to announce, release, and show the same financials in one financial quarter.
Yes.
Drives me nuts.
And especially in a key financial.
Should let me go run Apple for a year, fix that.
There's 3 things Richie has to do after 7th heaven. He's got to run Apple, run for office, and
do something in the medical field.
do something in the medical field.
Fix our problem that we have in medical
let
field.
me tell you something about that. Just for a second, bear with me, people everyone out there. Do something in the medical field. Having going through what I'm going through in my personal life and watching my daughter learn to walk again, every single day that I'm in this rehab center, I cannot even begin to tell everybody how humbling of a feeling it is to walk in there.
Yeah.
And I see people of all ages struggling and fighting
To get better.
to get better.
Yeah.
And I see all the people that are working with them, every step, every little tiny step of the way, helping them. And when you say do something in the medical field, I know that you're going to do that. And promise me when you do, I'm with you on your side. I want to do the same thing, and I'm sorry for a couple tears, but I seriously want to do that. Blitz and I drive home yesterday, and we just look around and we're like, man, if I just had bazillions of dollars, I would dedicate every single second just helping people. You
So
know?
Roy's daughters both were in the hospital, and
Yeah.
Roy's been dealing with both. They're both doing well.
They're doing better,
They're doing
yeah,
better,
and they will tell their own stories when it's their time to tell their stories. But
Sure.
they are doing better, and that's great. So everybody that's actually talks to me every day and at every one of your shows, I'm flooded with people coming concerned. So everybody, thank you, and they're doing better.
Yeah.
So back on track. Those 3 things, medical field, we're going to do, all right, for sure. And you will run for office, and you will run Apple.
I mean, the one problem that we have with the medical field is the medical field. It's such a complex. Like, you have the insurance issues, which I come to learn that you can only get insurance during a certain time of the year. You can't apply or get a different policy. It has to be in this window. That's foolish. Then you look at the food supply, like what's going on in our country. You look at, today I was at the endocrinologist. I have diabetes too. And so I was getting my blood work done. And I think, sugar has been around for hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. But diabetes is new. But then, so I think it has to do with high fructose corn syrup.
Absolutely.
I think that's where it's coming from.
It has to do with all our manufactured.
Yeah, all of our
sugars.
manufactured foods, because the politicians, which is another reason I wouldn't mind being in politics, is because they compromise the moral integrity of our safety for the almighty dollar. And then the dollar starts becoming a point of greed. And you could earn money with doing it ethically without screwing anybody over.
I agree.
You could do things and do well, all right, with that. And so it's unfortunate that we live in a world where you buy things and then we like foods, and all of us, as I'm in the doctor and I see people coming in and out, I'm thinking all of us have been compromised because of the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
Literally, the government knows what they can do. And you can't say, we just take sugar out. No. Yes, we are addicted to sugar, no doubt about it. But if we go back 100 years ago, there was people eating sugar back then that didn't have the same health issues that they have today. So there's definitely and then you look at autism and Angelman syndrome and all these spectral disorders of kids with developmental disorders. So that would not happen. And the fact that they're not even looking into it, well, we're kind of looking at it. No, they're not, because they put these corporations together and they bleed money to the corporate level, and it doesn't go to the cause. They're not doing the right enough reach. Although I will say we were part of Angelman syndrome. We were part of a cause there, and they were actually doing a good job raising awareness and not awareness, but also finding cures that they think. And I was hoping that they were going to clinical trials with something. And I was so hopeful that this happens in my lifetime.
I know, me too.
That we see those things go away. Look at so many of these different things that we could fix if we just actually find people at the corporate level that actually care.
I often think all the amazing things that humans are able to do.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't figure out the human body, but maybe sometimes we have figured things out. We just choose not to do it because of
Well, I mean, look at
we don't have money on stuff.
Do you know the farmer?
Crazy.
Do you know the farmer? I have a cousin, Sean Hofer, that runs Hofer Meat Company in Northfield, and he was telling me about how the Monsanto was putting this genetically modified seed on people's lands to yield a larger crop, and then their Roundup would be resistant, so that you could put Roundup and kill all the bugs, it won't kill the seed, it won't kill the plant. Okay, so that's the premise of, if I generalized it. And Monsanto would go through all the whole country and go to lands, and they want you to pay the royalty and buy the seed and buy the Roundup. And if you didn't agree to do that, they would go through and throw seeds on windy days onto people's things, and then subpoena the land to be tested and say, you're using our seed, you're not paying us a royalty. And these little farmers they don't have a win or hurt. And we've depleted our soils with so much chemicals. There's a Dr. Gundry, cardiologist guy, that does like these viral videos where he talks about health. And he was talking about how our grandparents could have like one banana, and you and I would have to have like 11 bananas to equal the same amount of nutrients because we're depleting the soil, because we're killing ourselves off. I mean, like, why does that even have to happen?
No, it shouldn't. There's got to be better ways and better people.
Yeah, better people.
Yeah, better people.
So back on the music.
Back on the music. All right, we got a couple more of these for sure. Let's see. This one's an older one. And some people get this one. 27 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. Question. It was an itsy bitsy yellow one.
I mean, yeah, but well, like, I gotta see that one. Oh my god!
It was an itsy bitsy yellow one.
You forgot.
What was it? Oh, I know I did. I know. I didn't add it. I took that part out to make it a little bit harder.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. But see, you got it even without it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you know.
Come on. Well, we're old.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
You get any grades like that?
Oh, it's
I don't even have. I get like grades.
No, they're coming. Let them go. I'm good with it.
I know. My kids go, how come you don't have your hair, Dad? I said, because I gave it to you.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean I gave it to you? I go, you have my hair. You want to give some back to Dad? They're like, no. Go to Bosley and get haircuts. I don't want to go to Bosley and get haircuts. I buy things like pools.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's nothing left for hair.
I have nothing left. I have like 5 hairs. You know?
I know. But
I used to have kick-ass hair.
I do wish you, and I mentioned him earlier really quick before I get onto it, I did mention Nick Cox earlier. And we started with the whole thing with The Sound of Silence just to close that circle. I asked Nick if he had ever covered the song before. And he said he did. He sent me a clip of it. It was really nice.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did a really good job of it. It really was more an homage to the original Simon and Garfunkel one.
Yeah.
And I was expecting more of a, very theatrical Nick Cox performance, closer to maybe the Disturbed one. But just as you said, they did such an amazing job with that. And Nick said also, he said that Disturbed did such a great job. There's nothing more you could do to that. Let it be. You know, and it's true. They did such an amazing job. And Nick did an amazing job with his version of Sound of Silence, so that was cool. But whatever else we were talking about, Nick, why I brought it up, I wanted to close that one. I don't know where I was going. I just lost it. Let's see if people put answers in it. All right, we got an answer. I saw a correct answer. So when we go through it later, we've got some people.
It's hot out here. We should do this whole thing in the pool.
It's humid in here.
It's humid.
Tomorrow's supposed to be even warmer. The next 2 days are going to be close to 100,
we have a show
right?
Thursday and it's 100 degrees.
How are you going to handle that?
Nah,
a lot
I'm
of
not
water
going to handle it.
and a lot of fan.
Not good.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to Thursday's show. Over 100 degrees, pure humidity.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Those are the hardest gigs to do in life.
But lucky it's been a summer that one. Not a lot of heat. We've had some heat, but not like overwhelming.
Not too bad. I mean, I go in the pool every day. I'm like,
This is the first time I've seen the screen up because I've been so MIA for a month.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, if you're just joining us. The same on this one. We'll do a little.
See the video wall? That's pretty cool. The pool. The pool. That's one kitchen. I put 2 kitchens out here. You know that?
It's crazy.
Put a couple. You got a couple things over there. I got full.
That's why we got
a full bathroom over there.
This is why we look blue tonight.
Yeah, we got blue. The blue light sticks.
Kind of cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember your old house the first time I'd been over there, and it was blue in that studio because you had the bubble wall. Now it's blue everywhere. In the backyard.
Well, I have more coming. So there's lights going in that crown molding that'll be blue.
Yeah.
There's some going on the fascia. Did you see the water dispenser that I put out there for the water?
Yeah.
For chilled water.
I was here when that got in.
I love that.
I remember you were trying to run it through a little bit.
Oh yeah. Let me,
All right, so back to my little tiers. We mentioned Frankie Goes to Hollywood. If we reach the 2,000,
relax.
goal.
Don't do it. When you come to it.
If we get to 3,000, guys, and we reach that, and a lot of people are getting the box set, I'm going to do an evening Facebook Live with the one and only Nick Cox, and I'm calling it Nick at Night. And we won't be watching Friends, even though we are friends. But we're going to do a whole ton of cool stuff that Nick does at night. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find out if we reach the goal. You want to know
how do we help people get the goal? Where do they go?
So all you got to do is hit the link that I provided here. If you're watching on Richie's feed,
I'll put it out.
We'll put it on there later. You can also just, whenever this is done, go to the Friends of Seven Heaven page. It'll be there. And you can donate money for any one of the tiers. You can even donate $10 to the thing if you just want to see these things happen. Whatever. The more we get, the closer we get to the goal, and we make this thing happen. Do you want to know what I'm doing if we reach $4,000, Richie?
How is that? Is that a big cicada?
I heard it. Yep.
Yeah, you hear him?
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at that guy. Look at that dude.
Is it a cicada or a moth?
That's a big cicada.
It's big.
Oh my god, that guy's huge.
You know, one of the craziest things I ever saw was a cicada eating wasp. Did you ever see it? Huge. It's huge. And it eats cicadas.
A wasp?
A wasp. It's giant. Look it up. They're huge. I've seen them. I remember freaking out, being like, "Holy crap! What is that thing?" Usually when we have like that 17-year low kids or whatever, like I remember when they came and I saw these things. They specifically come out to eat those.
The wasp goes out with a little bib.
I know.
A little fork and knife.
Yeah.
Let's get this guy. He looks like dinner.
I know.
Yeah, he looks like dinner.
All right, you guys. If we reach our $4,000 mark, what I'm going to do, it's called. What is it? I can't read my own writing. 1 Mile with Mark. It's kind of a bad title. But if you don't know Mark, he's very athletic. Richie knows this. The guy will rollerblade all over the place. And I'm not the best rollerblader at all. So to keep up with him is probably going to be a very laughing.
Hilarious.
I remember when we were filming the documentary.
You're like out of breath.
Well, when we did the documentary, I went on a bike ride with Mike, with Miche.
Oh, I remember.
And he's got the video. He wiped out. But it's funny watching that video because Mike's really good. He's going and going. I bring this very unprofessional bike. And my camera's going all crazy. And I'm trying to keep up with Mike. And I'm fumbling all over the place. I almost fell a couple times myself. I'm all out of breath. It's terrible. I can only imagine when I'm with Mark rollerblading. I mean, I'm going to be reaching for air.
Yeah, we have a video of him rollerblading in the Still Be Here video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll keep his new band there.
That's on the Algonquin Bridge, I think, right?
No, he actually rollerbladed in my old neighborhood.
In your old neighborhood?
My
Okay.
old neighborhood, yeah.
Maybe the video is Keith and the female lead.
Yeah, Keith. Yeah, that's in the bridge.
That's on the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and one more. If I reach the next goal, that final goal, if we get to the 5,000, not only will I be jumping hand in hand in the pool with Richie, but I'm going to spend an evening with Adam in the dark. We don't know what goes on in the dark at Adam's house. It's pitch black in there, and I'm not joking. Have you ever been to Adam's bedroom?
No, why would I be in Anna's bedroom?
I'm not saying I was either. I'm just asking if you ever been.
No.
Well, I might be.
For the record,
If
I've
we
never
reach
been in
the
Anna's
goal.
bedroom ever.
Yeah, I don't
never
know,
planned to
watching?
be ever.
I have been in Adam's bedroom, though. You know why? You know why? I built a closet in his room. I did.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
I did.
You couldn't even write that. I mean, you couldn't even write
I
that.
built a closet. It's got a valet rod in there, a couple belt ties, belt hooks.
Oh my god, that is
It's a
hilarious.
closet. And it's like a vampire house in there. It's pitch black. Black curtains everywhere. Adam, if you're watching, please confirm. And I'll be back in the bedroom.
Oh my god.
That's our goal. Alright, so hit the link if you guys are interested. One more time. The box set. It comes with all first 1 through 7 of 7th Heaven and the Rock Row Kids. I am signing every book. This incredible box will be signed by every member of the band. You're only going to be able to get that at this. Other than that, you're going to have to buy it if it's ever available in one-by-one.
Are these ever going to be available on Amazon?
They won't be on Amazon, no. The only way that I could get them available, Richie, is if we fund it later somehow, because you got to buy them in bulk. And it's a
Yeah.
lot. As you know, it's a lot of money.
Are you
For us to store all that.
ever going to sell them at the shows?
I'd love to, and we would be able to if this is successful, or if we run it again and we're able to raise that money, because then we could get it. And again, it's a lot. Here, I ordered a short quantity, so here's 2 of them that are still wrapped, ready to be signed, and out to you guys if you are part of this. But they're bulky, so to order,
And they're
500 at a time.
Where are they coming from?
Actually, I found a great printer here in the USA. They have a couple printing locations. They do have one in Addison. I don't know if these promos came from Addison or not. But
It could because of the shipping cost, and then if you could save on shipping by not having them have to be
it's possible.
where you could pick them up locally.
Yeah.
Now you
well,
save on shipping.
That would be
I think
helpful.
Something,
But it's still a lot of boxes. You got to order minimum 500.
Oh, you see when you order the
I know.
newsletters.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you.
Tens of thousands
Yes.
of newsletters.
And you're coming in boxes. Of them.
Yeah,
And
like
these,
it takes us multiple trips
oh yeah.
to get all of these newsletters. It takes a lot. Like that's a big job.
Yeah, yeah.
A 20-page 4-color job.
Richie, I see Etta has jumped in on our thread. We don't get to see her often at the shows because she hasn't been able to come out this summer with some issues that she's been having. So it's great to see you there, Etta. And thank you for jumping in and saying hello to us. We miss you. I miss walking you to your car. We've done that before. We couldn't find her car.
Oh yeah.
We were all over the place trying to find it. I think we were at Randhurst. Yeah, it was really fun.
That's fine. We've helped fans. We had a problem with a couple fans that had that were concerned about their safety, and we.
Did you guys go on?
You guys, ladies and gentlemen, a real life rock and roll kid has just
My
entered
son.
our domain.
My little baby.
Matthew Hofer.
My boss baby.
Matthew
Did you go
Hofer.
on the pool yet?
Now I was gonna go, but you got to go to bed soon. You want to go in the pool? You have about an hour.
One of the stars of episode number 5.
You want to go in the pool?
Somebody on the cover of episode 6.
I was
Matthew,
gonna
where
go.
are you on 6?
There.
There he is. He found himself.
I was at Caleb's house for almost like, I don't know.
10 hours just owning it,
Not 10 hours.
cooking up a cake.
Not 10 hours.
Let me look at this. Let's see. Cutie, Tootie, Matthew. Oh, people love you. Hi, Matthew. Everybody's about Matthew. Matthew,
Yeah.
Matthew.
Hello.
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 Let's see. Rosalie is checking us out.
Wait, Mom. Dad, why did Mom want me to come home?
Because you got to
It's
get
getting
ready
late,
for bed.
man.
It's getting late. You got school
I
tomorrow.
was in an interesting conversation.
Well, they're not having intellectual conversations.
No.
They're talking about
Yeah.
that isn't. Hey, Matthew, look at the big huge cicada up there on the very top.
Where?
Very top. See the very top? He's up on the very
Cicada.
top. He's huge. See him? He's attracted to that light. See him on
Right
the very
there?
top. On the very very top.
Eh, just
He's
chilling.
tasty. Matthew should go to bed soon. School in the morning. I know
No.
first day of school is
No.
my school district is tomorrow. Matthew's already started school, right?
Yeah. Second day today.
Oh, he's in. What else we got?
He loves his teacher. He's got a cool teacher. You
Ah!
guys see that guy flying around? See him right
She's
there?
the nicest fourth
Hey.
grade teacher ever.
You know your dad's, one of his favorite teachers is in one of the Rock and Roll Kid books, too. He's in episode 2.
Tony Keys.
Tony Keys. Matthew, I just want to see if I can find it. I don't think you've ever read that part, Richie.
You have to read to me, boy.
I'm going to. We're going to record these books soon, so they'll be available for audio.
When's Tony Keys gonna come over and teach me soccer?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Tony Keys. Man, that cicada is huge. Oh, he's on the counter. You can go get him. Go on the counter right in front of the
I'm not touching him.
You can touch him. Be manly.
Can I use this thing?
No.
What do I use then? Give me a
Paper
paper towel.
towel.
Where is it? Right here?
In
No, or
there.
right here.
Yeah. Quick.
I'm about to kill
Next
him.
one. To the right. To the right. To the right. I'll be shocked if you hit him.
Hey, Richie.
Hurry up before he flies away. He's about to fly away.
Look at this part here, Richie. It says just then.
Quick.
The
Did
final
you get 'em?
chords. Oh no!
Matthew. Jesus.
So help!
Scared you.
Jesus.
That's just a bug. They're upset they got
He's
a
dead.
bug.
I got him.
All right, the cicada has been
I
retired.
hate cicadas.
I love the cicada.
My son needs to be manly.
All right, are you ready,
Manly.
Richie? Listen to this little part. It says, just then, the final chords being played by a sunglass-wearing kid on piano echo out. An announcement from Mr. Keys comes over the speakers. So he's in there.
Did I ever tell you the story about how when I first met him?
No, tell our audience. This is so Richie meets Mr. Keys.
Friendship Junior High. I'm in 8th grade. Our teacher has a stroke, so now he's coming in to fill in for this teacher.
Okay.
He's going to be like the new teacher for the year, and he's like, "Hi, Mr. Keys." I'm like, "Who's this guy?" You know, like, "Oh man, another teacher." And he goes, "You guys like music?" Well, he goes, "I'm into music. We're going to put on some music while we do our art." I'm like, "Oh great, here comes lame music." He goes,
Yeah.
"I got Van Halen, Judas Priest." I'm like, "You got what? You got Van Halen? We're going to play Van Halen." And he starts jamming Van Halen. We go, "Oh my god!" Every day we go to art, we're jamming Van Halen. I'm like, "Oh my god, this guy's the best teacher ever." We're cranking music. I'm like, "This is." And my bus driver on the way to school used to crank music on the way to school. So then I'm like, we have a test in science, and I brought the US Festival on Showtime that they had for 3-day music festival. I videotaped it onto a DVR or on a VHS tape. I brought the VHS tape to school, had it in my locker, and I knew I could get out of class at science. And Adam Harding comes up and he goes, "Hey man, we got that science test." I go, "We have what?" "We have a science test." I don't go to the science test. He goes, "We have a science test." I'm like, "I'm never going to pass the science test. I've done no studying, not even ready." I go, "I'll get out of it." He goes, "How do you get out of it?" "You'll see." I go over to Tony Keys. I'm like, "Hey man, you got to write me a note saying I can't go to science. I have to be with you in art." He goes, "I can't do that." I go, "Yes, you do. You have to get us out. I can't go to science. I'm going to fail the test." He goes, I brought the US Festival with Van Halen live on VHS. He goes, "What?" I go, "Yeah, I've got Van Halen live. They just played it." He's like, "Oh, okay." He writes me a note. "Go, Johnny. Go over and get the TV and the VCR." He writes me a note. "Richard Hofer will need to be with me during 3rd hour. He will not be able to be in your class today. Thanks."
He's now my AV guy.
So then I go to Mr. Orlando, and he was like, "What? You have an art test?" I go, "A really serious, massive, awesome, gigantic, huge, super important art test, and I can't be in science today. I'm sorry. I'll have to come back." He's like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, well, there's the note right there. Tony Keys says he needs to see me all third hour." I look over to the guys at class. I'm like, "I'm out of here." How did you do that? Don't worry about it.
It's
So I
awesome.
walk over, I'm in the art, I'm like, we're watching Van Halen concert at lunch. I'm like, "How was art test? Or how was science test?" I was watching Van Halen live in Tony Keys' room.
That's so great.
That's so funny.
And, the world is so small. I told you recently too. I'm at dinner with my mom and my stepdad a few months ago, and he was a teacher. He used to teach at a school called Salt Creek in Elk Grove, and he's telling me this story about this kid that was kind of unruly in class, and then ended up being, long story short, a real good kid. And the kid would come to later pass away during school year, and when that happened. Well, it's a few years later, actually. And when it happened, my stepdad gets a knock at the door, and another former student of his came to the door and said, "Mr. Bazar, my brother passed away, and I'd really love you to come to the funeral because you changed his life." And my stepdad starts telling me that story, and he told me who the kid's name was, and he goes, and the kid's name was Tony Keys. And I go, "Are you serious? Tony Keys?" And he went to Elk Grove High School, Elk Grove Elementary School, and he's like, "Yeah," and I go, "That is Richie's favorite teacher."
Yeah.
So all those years later,
one of my best friends.
when Tony was a kid, he was also a stand-up cool kid, and obviously his brother was a good kid too. It turned out to be, and it's just such a small world that my stepdad had him in his class, and then that guy would grow up to be your teacher, and you become one of my best friends. Like, it's just a cool. How does that even happen sometimes? You know
He taught guys that played in the World Cup in soccer, and then
That's awesome.
And then here's the irony of the whole thing. So he was my art teacher, yet I've helped him design his art and his website and done that for him. Even though he was my teacher,
all around, yeah.
you know. And then in the process, I got him to pick up the guitar, and now he plays guitar. He plays guitar.
I didn't know that.
So I became an artist. He became a guitar player.
That's amazing.
Became a guitar player. That's crazy.
Well, you guys, my Battery's almost done. So I think we're going to end this for the night. But I wanted to tell people on that, it's awesome that Tony Keys made such an impact. I hope that what we do with these books, the 7 Heaven and Rock and Roll Kids, continues to make an impact. I know you guys as a band, every day in and day out, make an impact on people's lives. And the stories we've told tonight, from the stories of my daughters in rehab, and you with your teacher, and all the other people we met, it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
You can do that. So we're going to keep doing that. Thank you guys for supporting everything that Richie does and 7 Heaven does. I'm proud to be a part of that. And so you guys, thanks for playing along. If you're interested, we got 2 days left in the Kickstarter. We'll see you at a 7th Heaven show. I'll probably come back sometime tomorrow to talk a little more. I don't know where I'll be. We'll see. But thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Yes.
All right? We'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much, and I'll tally this stuff up. We'll get some prizes out tomorrow. See you guys soon. Bye.
See you.